Address of your emergency.
Hi, this is Brian Fanion. I'm at North Road. My wife just shot herself. Can you send me some help?
All right, Brian, we'll get him right out there, okay?
She's gone. Oh, God.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
A respected police detective killed his wife and nearly got away with it. The only problem? He forgot that investigators love searching Google history. This is the story of Brian Fanion. Westfield, Massachusetts, is a town where families stay for generations. Amy Jean Hansen grew up there, one of 8 siblings, known for her kindness and generosity. She married Brian Fanion in 1985, a man from a law enforcement family who would become a Westfield police detective. They had 2 children and built a life that appeared stable and enviable. Amy volunteered at church, loved the outdoors, and gave endlessly to others. On the night of May 7th, 2018, she worked on a handmade baby shower gift and texted her daughter Tori. Nothing suggested she was anxious or depressed. She was healthy, active, and deeply engaged with her family. The morning of May 8th, 2018, began like any other Tuesday. Just after noon, Brian Fanion called 911, reporting his wife had shot herself. First responders arrived to find Amy dead on the dining room floor, a single wound to her right head. Brian knelt beside her. The scene held odd details: a spent casing, blood spatter on a window frame, glasses with reddish-brown residue. The weapon was Brian's service pistol. Massachusetts State Police Detective Brendan Uhl noted the wound's appearance did not match a self-inflicted shot. He photographed everything methodically, filing his suspicion quietly. The investigation into a tragic suicide was about to shift. Brian Fanion was no ordinary suspect. He was a detective who had investigated homicides for decades. He understood interrogation, forensics, and digital evidence. When Detective Uhl interviewed him on May 8th, Brian was calm and coherent. He described a lunchtime argument about retirement and their aging dog. He claimed he placed his gun on the hutch, used the bathroom, and returned to find Amy holding the weapon. He said he could not reach her in time. At the interview's end, Brian handed over his phone, but warned investigators they would find things that were not what they appeared to be. The digital investigation uncovered a methodical pattern. In early March, Brian repeatedly searched for Corrine Knowles, his mistress. By April, he was researching divorce law and pension division. He ran calculations on what he would lose in a split. On May 7th, he Googled how to delete his frequently contacted list. On the morning of May 8th, while at his desk, he searched for the Massachusetts Medical Examiner's Office. He left work at exactly 11:47 a.m. Each search built toward a single goal: ending his marriage without losing his retirement. The affair created motive, and the pension created urgency. At 12:47 p.m. on May 8th, while Amy lay dead and first responders were still in the house, Brian texted Corrine Knowles. He asked her not to call or text for a while, said he would reach out when he could, and requested prayers for his family. He was already managing his exposure. Investigators later recovered thousands of deleted messages that revealed a deep romantic relationship. Brian had discussed his retirement timeline and his fear of losing pension money with Corrine. His first concern after his wife's death was not grief, but concealment. The text was damning evidence of his priorities. The autopsy revealed a critical forensic detail. Amy's wound showed no gunshot residue, stippling, or soot. In a self-inflicted shot at contact range, those markers are almost always present. The gun had been fired from approximately 4 feet away. Blood spatter on the window frame indicated Amy was standing when struck, not sitting or kneeling. The trajectory was inconsistent with a person holding the weapon to their own head. The glasses found nearby had blood and tissue residue, suggesting they were knocked off during the shooting. The physical evidence clearly pointed to homicide, not suicide. On May 17th, Brian was read his Miranda rights and confronted with the forensic findings. He insisted the gun was against Amy's head, growing frustrated but offering no alternative explanation. That same day, Amy's sister Anna Hansen testified about a private conversation with Brian weeks after the murder. He told her he worried about a search he had done online. When she asked what it was, he admitted typing, "How to make a murder look like a suicide." That admission, recorded and presented at trial, was the closest thing to a confession investigators ever received. The trial began on February 23, 2023, nearly 5 years after Amy's death. The prosecution called 40 witnesses over 2 weeks, presenting the digital timeline, forensic evidence, and the affair. The defense argued Amy had emotional struggles and could have acted impulsively. Their experts suggested thick hair blocked residue, but the prosecution countered that no hair could fully block stippling from a contact wound. They emphasized Brian's searches on the morning of the murder. Assistant District Attorney Mary Sandstorm told the jury Brian knew what he would do when he left the police station at 11:47 a.m. The jury deliberated for less than 2 days. On March 22, 2023, they returned a guilty verdict for first-degree murder. Brian showed no visible emotion, but behind him, Amy's family broke down. They had supported him throughout, believing Amy took her own life. The defense attorney stated the jury had got it wrong. The judge sentenced Brian to life in prison without parole. Outside the courtroom, the district attorney praised the investigative team, noting that no one, regardless of position, is above the law. The children, Travis and Tori, lost both parents that day. Brian Fanion used his law enforcement knowledge to plan the perfect crime, but the evidence caught him. The absence of gunshot residue, the digital trail, the affair, the pension research, and his admission to Amy's sister all sealed his fate. Westfield's trust in its police force was shattered. Amy Jean Hansen Fanion was 51 years old, a devoted mother, volunteer, and outdoor enthusiast. She deserved to grow old. Her children remain in Westfield, carrying the weight of a loss beyond death. Brian will die in prison. Amy's name and story must not be forgotten.